Jesse Lingard made his England senior debut at the weekend in a 2-0 win over Malta. Gareth Southgate praised him, said that he arguably was the best player on the pitch for England, which didn't say much, but Lingard did well. He might not have scored, he might not have got an assist, but he played well. And it sort of got me thinking about how Lingard is seen by Man United fans. And I think Lingard gets a lot of criticism unfairly. And I wanted to do a video here to sort of defend Jesse Lingard and explain to you why I think he deserves a bit more support from United fans. Obviously, he broke through last year, his first real senior season at the club. Wanted to do it under David Moyes, but because of that injury he suffered in his debut game against Swansea, it didn't happen for him. You know, it's a real shame that happened for Lingard. But since then, last year, he went on to have an up and down season, I think is a fair way to describe how it went for Jesse. He had moments like that goal he scored away at Chelsea, which was brilliant. Obviously, the big moment for him was the FA Cup final winner, which is not going to get forgotten by United fans. You know, first time we won the FA Cup in over a decade, scored a goal by an academy graduate, you know, stuff of dreams for him. And it was perfect in that respect. But there were a lot of indifferent performances, and especially a lot of criticism aimed towards Jesse Lingard's finishing, because let's be honest, he is not clinical enough in front of goal. But I think the criticism is just a bit too intense. And that sort of intense criticism has continued this season. I think it really came to the fore after his performance against Man City. Brought back into the team by Jose Mourinho. Clearly wasn't fit, so clearly shouldn't have started, but he did start. Complete lack of energy, complete lack of application, taken off at half-time, and United immediately improved with him off the pitch. And there was a lot of anger and fury aimed towards Lingard for what was a very poor performance, but I don't think he should have been played in that game. You know, it was vindicated that he was taken off because we looked so much better in that second half. And something I think doesn't help Jesse is his social media exploits. You know, on the one hand, you've got people and fans who are endeared by his videos. You know, his video he had on the bus at West Ham away when we were getting bricked last year. Videos after we signed Pogba of him dabbing. I don't think the dab probably helps him much either. Videos with Rashford. You know, he's done plenty of social media videos, and a lot of fans don't like that. Some are endeared by it, by seeing, you know, just a young lad enjoying being a Man United player, but not everybody is. And that doesn't help him. But here is why I think Jesse deserves more support. I think, you know, first of all, something I always notice about Lingard's play is his off-the-ball movement. And you saw that in the England game. He didn't score, he didn't get an assist, but Southgate said he was arguably one of England's best players because his off-the-ball movement is excellent. Whether Lingard is running into space and dragging a defender away to make space for a teammate, or literally off the ball, he's running in behind and he's making moves himself. He's far more natural to him than finishing is. He's not a natural finisher, but his off the ball and his intelligence in terms of positional play is very good. And I think he always doubles up with the defender. He's always got the energy, and his energy is another big thing. You know, that's one thing you're going to get from Jesse Lingard is work ethic. And that's why I think he may start against Liverpool. And not everyone's going to agree with that. And maybe I don't even agree with that. But Lingard has application. You know, I think it was the City game was a bit of a blip for him. I don't think that wasn't normal Lingard. I'm not saying that Lingard is a world beater here, because he is not going to be a world beater. He's never going to be as good a player as Mkhitaryan. And I think that's another big thing we're looking at is why is Mkhitaryan not playing but Lingard is. And maybe when Henrik is fit and 100%, Lingard's not going to play. But I just think that the hate towards him is just a little bit too intense. And for me, especially this, you know, he's an academy product. And I've drawn parallels recently between Jesse Lingard and Danny Welbeck. Danny Welbeck came through the academy as a kid, trained the whole way through, worked his way up, and was a fan favourite until obviously he left and joined Arsenal. And he was never a top draw player, but you saw he had the potential in him. You know, his finishing was never that great when he had too much time to think about it. Say Bayern, when he tried to chip Manuel Neuer, when he should have simply swung it to the other corner, but he didn't. He had too much time to think about it. But when he was instinctive in his finishing, it was good. And I think Lingard is very much in that same mould. He's never going to be a top draw player, but he's an academy graduate. His finishing, again, is much better when he's instinctive. His clinical finishing doesn't work when he's got too much time to think about it. And I just feel that maybe Lingard is exactly the same as Welbeck in that respect, in that it divides the fan base. You've got some fan base who's really supportive of everything he does and supportive of him the whole way through, and then others who feel that he's just not good enough and there are better options in the squad to play instead of him. And one thing that really needs to be remembered as well is that Lingard's still developing. You know, yes, he's 24 in December, which by footballing terms is late in a career, but there are late bloomers in football. And Lingard was a late developer. Fergie once said that Lingard would be ready for the first team when he's around about 22. Lingard broke into the first team when he was around about 22. He got it absolutely spot on. This is only his second senior season at the club. I think he got far too much stick in his first year. People were expecting him to score with every single shot in his first year. A, he's not a striker, and B, players don't do that. You know, maybe Rashford and Martial, there's individuals that do that, but on average, players don't do that straight away in their first season. I just think that the criticism aimed towards him was because our expectations were too much too soon for a player who's only just come into the first team from the academy, and he's now only in his second season. And for me, he's still developing as a player. I think he's improving. I think he's getting better. I think his finishing is improving. And I think his all-round game is improving as well. And yes, he's nearly 24. And yes, I would say Henrik Mkhitaryan is a much better player than Jesse Lingard. But I just wanted to say here why I think Jesse Lingard gets too much criticism and why I think he deserves more support from United fans. I mean, let me know your thoughts on Lingard in the comments below, as always. Do you think he should be in this team, or do you think he just isn't good enough to be a Man United player, period? Let me know in the comments. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to United People's TV if you're new. And we'll all see you very soon. Take it easy.